Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Made to feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. See right through me, see right through me. The greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world. It is that simple. There isn't a human being who does not know that this world is horrible. They do not bring children into this world because they think it's a great place and these children must come and experience what's great about this place. It's not about that at all. People bring children into this world because they need them. They don't know how to endure their suffering alone, so they want to bring people that are gonna depend on them and that they're gonna control, and they're gonna feel better because they're programmed to want that, and if they can have what they want, they'll feel a bit better, but it doesn't really solve their problems. This world is truly horrible, and people really need to wake up, especially now. This is not the time to be bringing children here. The world is so horrible, and we all can see that. Most people have cell phones. Most people can have access to the internet. They can see the horrible things that are happening to other people. They can see just how messed up this place is. A lot of people do talk about their experiences, things that they've been through. And we do get to see that on the news, online, and even in real life. We do get to communicate with people who tell them what they've been through. We know that this is a really fucked up place to be. We know that. There isn't a human being that doesn't know that. Even if you are a religious person who believes in God, you know that this place is horrible. That's why Christians believe that there's a heaven. It's because they know that this place is horrible. So they have to believe that there has to be something else. There has to be something else, you know. These are 10 reasons why you should not have children. Reason number 1, you don't get to own your children. I don't believe that human beings should be owned. I want you to understand that. I don't believe that human beings should be owned. But parents are not breeding these children for themselves or for the sake of the children. It's not, even though they believe that they are bringing these children for themselves, they are not really doing that. They are doing that because they were programmed to want to reproduce. So there have to be people who have programmed them or who are programming them to want to reproduce. Those are the people that these people are breeding for. The people that are running the show. The people that are making it seem as if reproducing is a good thing. Those are the people that own your children. Those are the people that indoctrinate your children. You don't own your children. Trust me, if you want to know that you do not own your children, do something that the system doesn't approve of. Right? Maybe just show them that you're a bad parent. They're going to take your children away. Simple as that. You do not own your children. So someone else owns your children. So you're bringing children into the world for someone else to own, and that someone else cannot care enough about your children. In fact, they do not care at all. They look at your children as resources, you see, human resources. That's it. So you're bringing these children into this world to be used by the ruling class. That is crazy. That is crazy. The second reason why you should not have children is that they will be forced to play Squid Games. That's what human beings have to deal with. Every day we're playing Squid Games. That TV series was showing us how the world is. Sometimes it's hard to see how things really are when you are part of those things, because you're not looking at these things from outside the box. You're looking at these things from inside the box. So you don't really see how bad they are, if they are bad. Things are really, really that bad. The series Squid Games showed us just how bad things are in the world. Human beings are competing every day. They're competing. And because of that, we don't really care about one another. We're being programmed to not care about one another. We care about winning. And we try our best to manipulate other people in order to get to where we want to be. And that takes away our good qualities, because we do have some good qualities in us. We do. It's not that everything about us is bad. There are some things that are good about us, but because we are forced to compete, then we lose these qualities along the way. We are being taught to compete at a very young age. Kids in grade R are being taught to compete. They're not being taught to help one another. That's not how they are being programmed. They are programmed to see one another as competitors. I remember this other day I was doing grade 12. I was cheating because I didn't study. In fact, I never really studied anything, but there will be times where I would open a book and just to see what's there, so that I would have an idea, what to write. But I didn't study at all before that test, so I was cheating. As I was cheating, this other girl raised a hand and told the teachers that I was cheating. I was mad. It made me realize that she doesn't want me to do better than her. You see, she's not focusing on what she's doing and making sure that she passed the test. It's not what it's about. It's about doing better. It's about winning the competition, because she's competing, even though it doesn't really matter. But that's how she was programmed since she was young. She believes that she's competing with me, so if I do better than her, then she lost. So she can't allow that to happen. So I'm cheating, because the only reason why you would feel like you must report a person who's cheating is because you're competing with them. If you're not competing with them, why do you care? They're doing what they have to do to make it. It's none of your business, you see. That's very, very important. So we're being taught to compete, and we don't even help one another. I know kids who do not help one another in the classroom. You ask a kid, can you please, I remember I would sometimes ask for help from other kids, but like, can you help me with this, or what's the answer to this? And they will not tell me, especially before a test. Why? Because if they tell me, then I'm gonna do better than I would. You see, we are competing, so they cannot tell me things that are gonna help me do better than I would. You see, that's how we are. We're competing. Reason number 3 why you should not have children. They have to work. I know people don't consider working a bad thing, but shouldn't it be an option? If you're gonna bring someone into this world, shouldn't working be an option? Because if they have to work, then you are bringing them to be slaves. Who said that they wanted to be here? That you should actually bring them here and then they have to work. Who said that they wanted to be here? You are literally bringing them so that they will be slaves. It's that simple. It has to be an option. You mustn't be forced to work. It is very, very important. There's this other meme that I saw yesterday of this cat. Is the autofocus gonna make this thing visible? But it says, me thinking about how I have to work to make money to afford to live on a planet that I didn't even ask to be on. Yeah, it's really funny. People have to work hard just to live in a planet that they didn't even ask to be on. That is crazy. Why bring people here so that they'll be slaves? It's very, very sick when you think about it. It's very, very sick. Reason number 4 why you should not have children. The cost of living is high compared to what can be gained. It is very, very high. It is very, very high. Trust me, the cost of living really does outweighs what can be gained. You know. Another picture that I have here that talks about this is this one. Don't know if you'll be able to see it. Man, the autofocus, yeah, you should be able to see it. But here's what it says. Sick of people saying my generation is poor because we don't work hard. My grandpa worked as a janitor his whole life and was able to support a wife and 5 kids in a 2-story house. Now, if you work as a janitor, you can hardly afford to live by yourself in a 1-bedroom apartment. And that's the truth. You know, that's the truth. The cost of living really does outweigh the benefit. You know, it really, really does. We have to work way harder than people who came before us to get what the luxuries that they used to get. Way harder. And that really takes a lot from us. You know, we don't get to really spend time with our families. We don't really get to spend time with our friends because we have to make that money. We don't even get enough sleep. We don't even get to have enough time to travel, to do things that we're supposed to do as humans. We just have to work, and work. There's something sick about that. You know, there's a reason why we're not okay. You know, this generation is fucked up because of this. We have to work. This hustle culture shit is bullshit, alright? Human beings want to have fun. Human beings want to travel. Human beings want to create. You know, they want to create. They want to be creative. You know, they want to think. We don't get time to do that because we are waking every day. Imagine having to wake up every day at 4 a.m. in the morning and go to work and then come home at 7 p.m. at night. You're fucking tired, dude. You know, you're fucking tired. Reason number 5 why you should not have children. Life has never been balanced. This is very important to understand. There is nothing that we can do to make things balanced in this planet. That's not how things work. Things are always gonna, be like this. It's the nature of this world. And because of that, a lot of people are gonna suffer. Sometimes I laugh at people when they're attempting to solve the issue of inequality. But it's part of this world. There's nothing you can do. You've been trying for so many years to fix this, and you weren't able to fix it. What makes you think you can fix it now? There's no fixing this, all right? It's not how it works. This is it. It's how the world is. It's how this whole illusion exists. It cannot exist if there isn't inequality. It can't. So that's very, very important to understand. Reason number 6 why you should not have children. You probably won't be a good parent. I don't think people really understand how hard parenting is. A lot of parents have done a very bad job raising their children, a horrible job raising their children, and they think they've done a very good job just because they don't really know what parenting is, what it's really about, what it requires. There are very, very few parents that are actually good parents. Parenting doesn't just have to do with providing for your children. It doesn't just have to do with that. There's a lot of things that you must be able to do as a parent. You must be there for your children emotionally. You must be able to groom them into healthy adults. You must know the truth. You must make sure that your children know the truth. They are in alignment with the truth, because if they don't really see the things for what they are in the world, they're going to suffer more than if they see the world as it is. You've got to make sure that they don't get to suffer trying to go out in the world and get things. There are a lot of parents who think they've done a good job because they gave their children a place to stay, and they were providing food for them. There are a lot of things that children need, all right? Children are competing with one another. That's very important to understand. Let's say your child wants a PlayStation and you can't afford a PlayStation. That's traumatic for them. They see other children playing a PlayStation game, and they can't play a PlayStation game in their homes because there isn't a PlayStation game, because your piece of shit cannot afford it, right? That type of shit causes trauma, dude. I saw this post on Facebook that says that 11 or 12-year-old kid, in fact I'm not really sure about the age, but a very young boy, I think it's a male, a very young boy killed himself because his parents didn't buy him a phone. I think it's a phone. You see, it's very hard when kids want what they want and you can't afford to buy them what they want. It's very hard for them to accept that, and that can cause trauma that you might fail to understand as a parent, because you're providing shelter and you're providing food for the child. It's very, very hard to raise a child. Reason number 7, life is not as good as you think. A lot of people are just naive, dude. That's what I'm starting to notice about people, that they're just naive. They think that life is all sunshine and rainbows. Some people have been spoiled by life. They didn't go through a lot and they just think it's just like that. And it's gonna be like that. Just because you were lucky and you didn't experience things that woke you up does not mean that, you know, this life is not horrible. It is horrible. Just because you've never been raped does not mean that everyone has never been raped. Just because no one cut off your hand because they were trying to rob you does not mean that it has never happened to some people. Just because you have never been stabbed does not mean that it has never happened to some people. A lot of horrible things happen to people. And we don't really pay attention to these things. We're so fucking desensitized. I think it has a lot to do with the news that we're being shown every day. We're starting to think that these things are normal, and that's how it is. Here's a post from Till Swan. She says, "Hell on earth is a world where there are over 7 billion people and most of them feel completely alone." You see, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, I really, really do feel alone. A lot of people really, really do feel lonely. A lot of people are failing to connect with other people. Remember when I spoke about trauma in the beginning, when I spoke about the child that these kids in grade 2 were laughing at when I was talking to them. That kind of trauma can make her isolate herself and really, really feel alone. Why? Because she cannot be with other people because other people are fucking horrible. I mean, that's other people. You see, that's the people that she's supposed to look up to. And they were doing that. They were laughing at her for how she looks. She didn't ask to look like that. And she's not, like, bad. But they just want to look at something that they can, use to bully a person. That's how people are. They just look for something that is not perfect about a person and then they bully them for it. They torture them for it. That person has to feel pain for whatever makes them not to be perfect. That's how they are. That is why, guys, I don't believe in the justice system. I keep on saying that many people who are in jail are not guilty. Something has happened to them that has caused them to do the shit that they have done, the shit that is not desirable, and we're punishing them for being victims. I see that when we are making fun of people for how they look, we're punishing them for not being perfect. It's the same way that we'll punish people for being victims. We'll punish people for making stupid decisions because maybe they had to make those stupid decisions because of their level of consciousness at the time. You might get angry and hit a person and that person faints and die and then you end up in jail. Well, you are a victim too, man. You were angry. I'm not saying hitting other people is good. I'm saying we really need to get to the root of things and stop acting as if we understand the truth about this world. We don't understand shit. We don't even understand psychology. Or we don't understand the psychology of people. Period. We don't. We don't understand how people really think. Alright? We don't know where their thoughts come from and whatever. We just want to judge, man. It's so crazy. Reason number 8 why you should not have children. Even if we choose to be good people, evolution will not allow us to be. Even if we choose to be fair, evolution will not allow that. You see, this whole thing exists because of what we call survival of the fittest. That's how it works. Human beings might choose to ignore that But that doesn't mean that it's not gonna exist. It's still gonna exist, and it's gonna torture them. You see. Let me give you a simple example. In fact, I've given this example before of Beyonce and a homeless woman. If you were to help someone between Beyonce and a homeless woman, who do you think you would help? You most likely would help Beyonce, even though there are a lot of people that would help her. The one that really needs your help will be the homeless person, the homeless woman. But it's hard to resist. Evolution doesn't want you to help the homeless woman. Why? Because she's not fit. You see, Beyonce is fit. That is why you want to help Beyonce. So even if we want it to be good, evolution will not allow us to be good. I've seen people try to be good, but they still fail because evolution doesn't allow that bullshit. It's bullshit to evolution that you choose to do the opposite of what it wants. Reason number 9. You probably wouldn't want to re-experience the things that you have experienced. Guys, this is very important. Would you want to be born again and experience the things that you have experienced in your life? I'm sure more than 90% of people will say no. The reason why people are still here, the reason why people are not killing themselves is because they are optimistic. They believe that they can redeem themselves. They believe that things can change. They are very optimistic. They hate the things that have happened in their past. But they think, well, I have been through a lot and things can change for me and I can experience things that I want to experience. But if they were to go back and re-experience these things, they wouldn't want that. If they were to go back and re-experience these things, they would say, no fucking way, man. I'm not going through this shit again. You see? That's because this is not worth it, and we all know it. Reason number 10 why you should not have children. People are dumb. I remember this joke by Joe Rogan. He was saying, a lot of people think that there's a grand cabal of evil geniuses who are pulling strings on everyone in America, but it's most likely that people are just dumb as fuck. That's the truth. Joe Rogan is my favorite stand-up comedian because he speaks the truth in a way that is funny. He also made this other joke about humans being dumber than dolphins. He was saying, no one has ever went fishing and accidentally caught a dolphin. I mean, dolphins eat fish. I was calling. I'll get back to them. Let me just finish this video. He was like, it's weird that dolphins love eating fish, but no one has ever accidentally caught a dolphin. Ever. But so he was thinking that, well, if humans lived underwater, you fucking catch them all day. They wouldn't even need to live underwater. If beggars just floated, in the sky, you'd at least see one guy get caught, try to take a chance, and you'd see him get yanked up into the sky. Funny shit like that. Yeah, human beings are dumb, man. They are very, very dumb. It's Benedict Times the Vegan, yo. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you.